Hey, what's up everybody? This is Like It's 1985. This is my review of the FansProject CA-07 Teardown figure. Teardown here is part of a 3-figure set. These are, of course, third-party Transformers figures. And here's a look at the packaging. Teardown comes with Blockade and Plunder. On the top of the box here you can see the pictures of the figures in their insect forms. On the bottom you have pictures of their robot modes. And on the side here you have some drawings of each of the 3 figures. And on the other side, pictures. On the back of the box, of course, you have a look at all 3 of the figures, both in their insect forms and in their robot forms. So looking at the barrage here, you can see the 2 colors primarily are green and yellow. And I point that out because I believe this figure is a homage to the Generation 1 Barrage figure, as you can see right there. Not so much a homage to the insect form, but more of a color homage with the green and the yellow. So there you go, have a look at that. So looking at Teardown here, pretty nice robot mode, I like it. It's definitely really nice. You can see the back here, the front. And let's start off with his weapon here. The weapon does have some features here, including a stock here that goes in and out, and a handle that rotates on a swivel. And this front section does detach, and this actually will become part of the insect form. So looking at the figure here, let's take a look at articulation. Well, the head itself is on a ball joint. You have the shoulder armor here that's actually on a ball joint, so it is you can move that separate from the shoulder. You do have articulation, of course, at the shoulders, like that, swivel. You can see there's a ball joint at the elbow. It does not appear to have the wrist articulation. Off camera I tried to move the wrists on both hands and or on both sides of the arms, and they would not move, so I don't believe they are actually on a joint. There is a really nice joint here, as you can see, at the torso section. Really nice. Of course, the legs themselves are on a ball joint. You got swivel here at the thigh, and a bend there at the knee, and finally you have articulation here at the ankle, so you can move the foot like so. And the armor here at the waist does move. It actually moves up for the transformation into the insect form. So you do have that as well. Behind here you can see these will be part of the legs here. I kind of like the look of having them up like this. You know, that's just my opinion, but you can have them up like that, but I believe the official transformation is actually to have them behind the shoulder armor. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the transformation. Pretty straightforward. There's a tricky part here with the shoulder armor, which I will get into in a second here. First you want to take this section here, and this is going to cover up the head. You want to straighten this out here like that. Now the shoulder armor is a bit tricky because you have to rotate this around so that this part here is facing backwards. It's on a ball joint, and if you happen to accidentally remove that shoulder armor from the ball joint, it is a bit tricky. So hopefully this will go right and I will have no problems, but let me see here. So try to move this around. I think it goes like this. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to work, like that. And it doesn't come off, but that's the only tricky part. I mean, of course you can pop it back on. The only problem is it's a bit difficult to pop back on, and of course during a review that's even more so. So let's see here. Do that again here, hopefully. And rotate around. Alright. That was the only hard part, only because of the tricky ball joint there. Legs, you want to take care of those. Rotate them like that, and like that. You can see here you want to bring in the heel and the toe, and fold in the toe here, you can see, and then the whole front part of the foot folds in, and I think it just kind of rests something like that. And do the same thing over here. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's more like that. Just kind of fits a little bit into that indentation on the heel. Whatever, like that. Then you want to move up the waist armor here. It's on a little joint like that. And you want to make sure you have the legs all the way collapsed. What I mean by that is there's a slider mechanism here, and you want to push the leg all the way up, and I find it's easier to do this while the legs are separated, before you put them together. Like that. And this one here, for some reason, is always giving me problems, but you can see it does go. And then you want to make sure these legs are actually together. There's actually a couple tabs and slots, and just make sure this is all the way up as far as it's going to go, so there's very to no gap there between the waist armor here and the legs. These insect feet here are on ball joints. Sorry about that. So get these out to the side. And as you do so, you notice there's a couple of tabs here, and they correspond to these slots on the arms, and that kind of dictates how the arm transforms. So as you can see, there's a joint here. You want to bring that arms all the way to the back, so they're on the underside of the insect mode. And you want to rotate the arms such that the slot here matches up with the tab there. Sorry about that, I keep looking at the figure and not the camera. So slot in tab, and that kind of dictates how you rotate the arm around. And then the shoulder armor here should go down into this little recess here. Do it from the side like that. Then it's just a matter of rotating the legs out. Again, they're on ball joints, and you can see there's a swivel joint here which extends out the end of the legs. So that should be like that. And then kind of get it on the ground, and that kind of will help you determine where the legs get placed. Finally, last step, you want to take the weapon, the front part of the weapon, and plug it in there. Just a simple peg hole. And there you have the teardown figure in robot mode, or sorry, insect mode. And looks pretty cool. So there it is. As you can see, you've got articulation here at the front and here. But there it is. Pretty cool. And again, it doesn't really match up with the Generation 1 Barrage insect mode, but it still looks pretty cool. So there you go. Alright, well, this has been a review of the FansProject CA-07 teardown figure, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.